Welcome to the Redefine Effect podcast, where we uncover the transformative power of redefining the meanings we assign to our circumstances, acknowledging that these definitions are what shape our reality. By embracing a world of perspectives that challenge and expand our own, the information given in this podcast invites us to adapt, heal, and grow beyond our perceived limitations. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and remember the power we possess, the power to redefine. We're all good. Systems are a go. Welcome, everyone, to episode number 3 of the Redefine Effect. My name is Dr. Jones. I am a host of this very special episode. This is kind of a spontaneous episode because there's been something that I've been feeling into that needs to be expressed. And I find that as I'm getting more clear on what this is, my vessel is able to kind of distill it in a way that I hope you will find benefit from. I hope you will find practical benefit from, so that you can not only just intellectually understand what we're about to go into, but you can actually take it on experientially, and it can create shifts in your own way of thinking and being and acting and perceiving your own reality. Again, the whole purpose of this podcast is that exactly, right? Redefining. The redefine effect is that effect that you have, that I have, that every human being has when they place a different perspective onto a circumstance, whether it has happened in the past, in the present, or a circumstance that is going to happen in the future. How can you see that circumstance, place definitions and meaning on that circumstance, therefore redefining that circumstance in a way that's greater in alignment with what you truly are and who you truly are, right? So, as always, every topic in this podcast is growing from that primary intention. So, I hope that if you are listening to this, you do find value, um, not just in this specific episode, but in all episodes. So, without further ado, we can get into what has been creeping in, and I have the strong desire to share it, which is why I spontaneously started recording. um, and this topic is going to be about how to realign to your innate intelligence, the inborn intelligence, right? Which is a gift, which is a gift that was gifted to you by something that doesn't necessarily need a name, because we know that without the name, in the absence of the name, it's still here. It doesn't need to be called anything. It doesn't even need to have a meaning, because in the absence of all that, it still remains untouched and unfazed. But call it whatever name you want, there is a higher power that gifted you some sort of its properties and actions to maintain you in existence. Again, because I am a doctor of chiropractic, I embody the chiropractic principles, the first principle being the major premise, stating that there's a universal intelligence in all matter that continuously, keyword there, continuously, is giving properties and actions to that matter to maintain that matter in existence. You being a human being and having this vessel that is made of matter, and the key word there, as I said, was continuously. So that's bringing awareness to how this intelligent creator did not just abandon you, right? Did not just create you, then leave you. No, it's continuously creating you at all times, giving you properties and actions to maintain you in existence, which is why we can go from version A of ourselves to version B to version C to version D and so forth. So to know this, to understand this, well, if I have this innate intelligence, which was gifted to me for free, and it's continuously here now, right now in this moment, again, it's the thing that's allowing you to hear my voice, and you don't have to try to hear my voice. It's the thing that's allowing you to be here. It's the thing that's allowing your heart to beat 100,000 times a day, and you don't have to try to make your heart beat 100,000 times a day. It's a very harmonious intelligence that organizes all of life, not just human beings, but all of life, and supplies that life with a very profound impulse to seek for, in a sense, to seek for itself. So the intelligence is always trying to seek for the source of where it's coming from, which is why we have, as humans, the desire, the impulse to express, to move, to go venture into this avenue of our life and express ourselves in this way. And then not want to do that anymore and find a new impulse to go this direction. But to ultimately know that that's all being guided by a higher intelligence that we're equipped with within the human body, which is why we call it innate intelligence or inborn intelligence. To know that that is the case is a profound realization that could really differentiate who you truly are from what you think you are. It can really differentiate between the truth and your truth. And I think that this is a profound realization and can create a lot of shifts when it starts to settle in, right? So after laying a little bit of context for how I personally see the innate intelligence through my experience with understanding it for what it is, and just through my own investigation of what is allowing my heart to beat, what is allowing me to be here. Again, I'm not consciously thinking myself into existence. I don't have to try to be present. And again, for me personally, I had just had a natural curiosity of what is that source to everything. Um, so the whole point of this conversation is, well, let's figure out how to realign to that intelligence, because I have found that the characteristics of this innate intelligence, when we start to see it for what it is everything that we seek for in other things outside of us. And the characteristics of this innate intelligence are typically, well, really, it's always unconditional love, unconditional support, um, gratitude, joy, bliss. And you can kind of get a sense that the natural state of nature itself, of this intelligence itself, is freedom, is happiness, is joy. Again, if we're equating happiness and joy with freedom, which really it is, right? The more free you are, the more happiness you can feel, the more joy you can feel, the more you can express, the less bound you are, the less in a state of being victim or being in a victim state you are. And through the relinquishing of being in this victim state, we have the ability to express authentically, which is, again, that typically equates to more joy and more happiness, more freedom. So freedom equals happiness, right? And you'll find that the natural state is all of that. So what creates the deviation from that, right? What creates the out of alignment? What creates the urge to realign? And in most cases, this will start to be created with a certain belief that goes against what is already here, which is that inborn intelligence. If we know that the inborn intelligence is that thing that we possess, and it possesses characteristics such as abundance, such as like unconditional love, unconditional freedom, unconditional joy, unconditional gratitude. If we know that these are the qualities of this innate intelligence and the characteristics of this innate intelligence, and then we decide to believe something that is fundamentally untrue in comparison to what we are, which is that innate intelligence, then the vibrational difference created from the belief system that we're in, that vibrational difference will manifest in the physical body as dense, heavy, negative emotions in such a way that those dense, heavy, negative emotions are meant to be of guidance, right, of some sort, so that we can actually see how we are believing in something that's fundamentally untrue. And again, this is where that redefine effect comes in. Now, with that understanding that every emotion that's dense, heavy, and negative, and is manifesting in the physical body as anxiousness or depression or some sort of feeling of lack belief or limitation, which you know how that feels, right? Believe that you aren't able to get something or have something. Believe something in the form of, or believe something that's stemming from a lack belief, and watch what it does to your whole energy. Just pay attention. Watch how it closes you off. Watch how it makes you feel very dense and heavy. Those emotions are meant to guide you back into alignment by bringing awareness to the fact that how I'm deciding to see and believe this situation or this circumstance or myself is fundamentally untrue. And now, with that understanding, I get to search for a way to redefine the situation in a way that is more true or closer to the truth, closer to the characteristics of this innate intelligence. So, whatever that belief has to be, and this is where you get to decide. I don't know how you need to see it for you to feel less affected by the circumstance or by the belief that's limiting you. But I would highly advise that you start to bring in different beliefs. You start to allow different perspectives and points of views to come in. And in order for you to do that, you do have to peel the sticker, if you will, peel this sticker paper off. And the sticker paper is your attachment to what you think is the truth. You have to peel that sticker paper off so it's very loose. And it creates this open space now for other perspectives and points of views to come in. So if you're listening to this podcast already and it's resonating with you to some extent already, you're allowing another point of view to come in to see the situation that you may be in, whether it's pain, lack of mental clarity, a sense of uneasiness, a sense of depression, a sense of anxiousness about whatever it may be. You can now see, well, all these emotions are normal. They're not me, they're not the truth, and they're arising to get me to try to adopt new points of views and perspectives about the situation so that I can ultimately overcome it and realign to this inborn intelligence that I have that expresses characteristics that are more true to who I am, which is this infinite spirit, right? This infinite soul that has this creative power gifted to me for free to go out and just serve and create and express. You are an infinite soul, and to believe that you're not, to believe anything other than that, will always create dysfunction in your system. So you can also say that every time I feel something that is very negative, heavy, and dense, it's untrue. It's just not the truth. And it's very unsensible of you to believe in things that are not the truth, right? It would be very sensible for you to believe in something that is the truth. Again, differentiating between what the truth is and what your truth is. Your truth is creating the dysfunction. The truth is that you're infinite and that you have the ability to generate meaning and definition and create your own reality, right? That's what the truth is. Your truth is a limited truth that may be producing limited effects within the system. The truth is that you're unlimited, that you're limitless. It just depends to what extent or what degree do you want to fully embody that, because ultimately this does require greater responsibility and a maturity of the nervous system and of the being as a whole on the mind, body, and spirit level. A maturity meaning that there is a higher density to your consciousness, right? You've done self work, you were able to shed a lot of patterns that don't serve you and overcome those patterns, and you're more sensitive on the subtle level to navigate through these emotional bodies, and there's less uh, shit hitting the fan, if you will, right? In your life, there's less chaos in your life. There's more harmony in your life. There's more balance in your life. Rarely do you ever get to a point where shit does hit the fan and because really what that is you've been ignoring something on a subtle level for so long that now there is no other choice but for it to manifest in the physical body or in a physical circumstance that shocks you into waking up, that forces you to wake up, right? If you don't do the work now, something will, again, the higher self will always have something for you, because the ultimate goal of this innate intelligence is to evolve. So if you get in the way of your evolution because you're refusing to see something from multiple points of views or different angles, then this inborn intelligence that you have has mechanisms in place to produce signals known as pain or discomfort or lack of ease, so that the awareness that you have can see it and pick up on it, in hopes that you will see it and pick up on it and make a decision to listen to it and understand it, to see how is this pain encouraging me to live my life, to see something in a different way. Again, the pain is never limiting you. If we see that the pain is limiting us, then we're victim to the pain. And our first instinct from growing up in this society is to find a way to get rid of the pain, numb the pain, hide from the pain, run from the pain, etc. So if you're seeing the pain as something that's limiting you from doing something, you're falling victim to it, and now you just want to get rid of it. And the only way this will come up is because at some level, you see that the pain is a separate manifestation or something that shouldn't be here. The pain is something that's arising apart from this inborn intelligence. When in reality, this innate intelligence is so intelligent, is so smart, is so knowledgeable that it's creating the dysfunction and it's creating the pain, it's creating the lack of ease, so that you can skillfully place your awareness on it, so you can then navigate how to get out of it by taking on new beliefs and new actions and new habits. That's how you overcome. That's how you adapt. That's how you get out of pain. Truly. I shouldn't say get out of pain. I should say overcome pain. That's how you overcome pain. And pain doesn't have to be 10 out of 10. Ow, this hurts. Pain can be, again, something that happens in a very subtle, emotional, less dense physical sense. So in the context of this conversation, you can see pain as anything that creates discomfort. Any sort of discomfort can be seen as pain. Because if you start to see it in that case, then you're going to wait, or you're going to not wait as long. You're not going to wait. If you start to see it in this context, then you won't wait until the pain manifests in the physical body as something that really, 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 really hurts. You will catch it in the subtle body, the emotional body, and the mental body as something that is creating discomfort or causing a sense of unease within your system. And right there and then, you're able to say, well, how and what am I believing in that's fundamentally untrue, that this innate intelligence is trying to guide me and encourage me to see the circumstance in a more truthful way, in a way that does align with the characteristics of this innate intelligence, which is, again, abundance and freedom and joy and bliss. The inherent qualities of existence is freedom. Um, and a topic to get into in another podcast would be to then start to see, well, how do we know that the inherent qualities of nature, of existence, is freedom? And we could just talk about it now, actually, because I'm just here kind of flowing. So we don't really need to wait for another episode, because it's kind of just all flowing into this one beautiful pot, it feels like. And we're just kind of stirring, and little things are popping up, little bubbles, and it's been just kind of going with it. So if you start to study nature, again, we have a poster in our practice, a quote from Albert Einstein that says, look deep within nature, and then you will understand everything. And I find this quote to be very resonant and true, because when you do study nature, and studying nature is studying yourself, so don't be so in awe by nature, don't be so in awe by the things you see outside of you, because what you see outside of you and the reason you can feel that feeling of awe or like, oh my God, that's so beautiful and amazing, is because you possess it. which is why you can recognize it in something outside of you. So it would be more beneficial for you to place your attention and study yourself, because you are nature. You are part and parcel of nature. It's not nature then you, it's nature and you. So we do have to become more skillful in this meditation sense to start placing our awareness back onto the awareness. We know that we are aware, right? It's a undisputable fact. I am aware right now. I am aware right now. I'm aware right now in this moment. I know this, but what happens when I place my awareness onto the fact that I am aware and I follow that string, if you will, back far enough? You'll almost get led into like this experiential space within the body where you're almost now the light. You found the projector that's producing the movie. You found the light that's producing. You found the light that is needed for the movie to play on the screen. You're less indulged in the movie. You're less in the seat at the movie theater eating your popcorn. And you're more in the back end, being able to see that there is no movie without this awareness or this light that shines forth to play on the screen. And I've often seen it as this within myself in deep contemplation and deep meditation, where you do kind of feel like, because you've realized this, you can now get behind the projector and redirect it onto different parts of the screen to play different movies. And this is that kind of consciously creating, is what we can call it. So we're always creating because the projector is always playing, because like I said, you're never not aware. So if the light is your awareness and you're never not aware, then the projector is always on. It just depends if you're behind the projector consciously pointing it into what you want to see in your world, in your reality, what you want to feel, what you want to experience. Because the experience is only there because you're making it what it is. The experience in and of itself has no inherent meaning to it. So with that being said, how do you want to give the meaning to the experience with the realization that you are the meaning giver? And there is no other thing out there that can take that from you. And there is no other thing out there that is giving meaning to the thing, to the circumstance. So being able to get behind the projector and point it to a certain experience, and you being able to filter that light through whatever you want to filter it through, whatever thought you want to filter that light through, whatever action you want to filter that light through, whatever habit you want to have that light be filtered through. That's up to you to decide ultimately. And this is that, again, consciously creating versus subconsciously creating, which again is you losing that ability to see that all of this is unfolding, and now you're lost in the movie. You're lost in the movie and you're swayed by everything, and you're less available, and you experience burnout, you experience depression, you experience anxiety, you experience heavy emotions, because for some reason you've lost this ability to pull yourself out from all of this that's arising in front of you. For some reason, you gave all of your power away. You gave all of your light. You gave all of your awareness away to the circumstances as if they are independently existing apart from you, which is, again, the furthest from the truth. Believe that you're a victim, because what is a victim? A victim is something that, a victim is a state where you are giving power away to something and acting as if that thing is independently existing apart from you. That's pretty much what the victim state is. So as a test, just believe you're a victim for X amount of time and watch what it does to your frequency. Watch what it does to your energy. Watch what it does to your emotional body. Watch the feelings that arise from believing that you're limited and you're in a victim state. Watch the feelings that arise when you feel that something else can dictate how you should feel, that something else can sway you, that something else can take your power to create away. It limits you. It creates this density. It creates this heaviness. It creates dysfunction. It creates dis-ease, all put in place as a mechanism for this higher intelligence. Again, it's the emotional body that we're feeling. So the emotional body is is a mechanism put in place by this higher intelligence for us as a human being to realize and become aware that how we are deciding to see the situation or the circumstance from the vantage point of the victim state is fundamentally untrue to how we truly are, which is the furthest thing from the victim state. What you are is not a victim. What you are is a co-creator. You have to have a deep conviction of the fact that this ability I have to give meaning and definitions to things is what is giving life to everything around me. And there's no other way for things to have an effect on me unless I'm the one here now giving the meaning to that thing to have an effect on me. And we can find, well, in this case, you would never feel pain, right? If we went through in this way, right? If you're listening to what I'm saying, you would never feel pain because why would you want to feel pain? Nobody would ever want to feel pain unless they have these masochistic tendencies. But again, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But nobody would deliberately want to feel pain. And the thing about pain is that they're not feeling pain, they're feeling sensation. And then they label it whatever label they think pain is, and now they're feeling pain. The human body, as we know it, has many, many roles and many, many jobs and many, many functions, but the one function that it does not have is to give meaning to things. The human body only knows how to generate sensations. And then the sensation gets generated and it gets picked up by the awareness. It gets filtered through the awareness. And then we get to give that sensation a meaning, a definition. We get to give that sensation some life by giving it um, properties and actions. And then from what we give it, we paint a picture of what that sensation is and we label it as pain or whatever it may be. If you can see that if this is the case, then these sensations or this pain that we're feeling is not concrete. It doesn't have to be pain. You can start to understand the sensation a little bit better. And from that, you can navigate in this emotional body back into realignment to this innate intelligence, because that's the purpose of the emotion, right? The emotion is arising to get you to realign. And to do that, you simply just see, well, this pain that's coming up is not limiting me by any way. All this pain is doing is encouraging me to see something in a new light. And I'm so grateful for this pain because without it, I would just continue to go down this dark road. So thank you so much for this pain. And I'm so happy that in this moment, I get to feel into what is causing me pain. And what's pain again? Pain is discomfort. Again, it doesn't have to get to the point where it's a 10 out of 10 and it hurts. Pain is simply a little bit of discomfort. So I'm so grateful for the discomfort that I'm feeling in my system because it gets me to become aware of how I'm fundamentally seeing something as being untrue. And what a beautiful thing pain is, as it is a teacher for you. Pain is not a limitation. Pain is encouraging you always. And I say this and I speak this because it's my passion to bring different points of views and different perspectives if they resonate with you. So please don't take this on if it doesn't resonate. Please stop listening to this. This is a very long podcast. I've been talking for a while, so if you didn't find resonance to this, you probably would have stopped listening already. But it's it's almost like this soul mission or my soul purpose to express in this way because I see the direction that society and the Western medicine, medical system, the healthcare system that we're in, has conditioned us to live and see and perceive pain. Pain is your key. Your ailments are your healing. Pain is your healing. Without it, there is no way for you to actually see and feel and integrate what you need to see and feel and integrate. The shift from where you are now, where you are at now to where you want to be, to who you want to be. So if there's anything you get from this, you start to see that if you have pain in this moment right now in your life, stop, seeing it as a limitation. Stop seeing it as it gets in the way of what I want to do, and start seeing it as something that's encouraging you to change the way you're believing about something, seeing something, feeling into something, so that you can ultimately overcome this pain and stop trying to be a person who treats it and manages it. We don't manage it, we don't treat it, we overcome it. And the only way to overcome it is to see it from a different lens. So I hope this landed. I feel very satisfied. I know that the conversation kind of went in all these different directions, but I hope that there was some benefit and value from what was said here. Again, episode 3 of the Redefine Effect. Um, I feel very complete with how everything landed so far. Let's see. Yeah, about 30 minutes. Beautiful. So further, I would say in the future, further topics on this concept, further topics on bringing awareness to this innate intelligence, because the more awareness we place on it, the more naturally, the more curious we become about it, and from there, more discoveries can unfold. And you're not going to have experiential shifts if you're not constantly investigating the reasoning to why you are here, and the the effects of that discovery will create greater purpose for you in this life. Always. When you start to get closer to why you are here, your purpose seems to increase. It has like this, it's directly proportionate. So the more you understand why you're here by investigating where you're coming from, by investigating source, by placing your attention back onto attention, by placing your awareness back onto awareness itself. By doing that, you are retracing, in a sense, back to the projector, back to the light. And the closer you get to the projector, the closer or the more of a co-creator you become, the closer you get to yourself, in a sense. Beautiful. So we'll see all of you guys in the next podcast, the next episode of this podcast. I did want to mention before I get out of here, um, we will be holding, if you are in the Orlando area, we will be holding mastery talks at our practice, Infinite Wisdom Chiropractic and Reiki. And these mastery talks will be on kind of these concepts, right? Going deeper into health, healing, and wellness, going deeper into your purpose, going deeper into what it is you're here for and why you are here, and how to see things from different angles and perspectives so that you actually can overcome the ailment, and to start to encourage this freedom, and to encourage this authentic expression that you have inborn, innately, intrinsically, inherently within yourself right now, at this moment, right? At this moment right now, it's here. You don't have to go anywhere to get it. You don't have to sit in a certain position to have it. You don't have to take any drugs to experience it. It's here right now, because you would not be alive if it was not for this intelligence. So the activation of this intelligence is to go to your direct experience of existing. And if you have ever noticed, you are always existing. So that's what we'll be getting into, just a bunch of people existing at the Mastery Talk. And we'll be bringing that up and speaking about it and just sharing as a community on the concepts of health, healing, and wellness. If you have any questions, just reach out to us on Instagram. You can DM us, you can reach out or comment in the YouTube comment section, and we'd be happy to answer any of those questions. So, yeah, perfect. Love you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.